Hey everybody. Hey, sorry about the delays today. Had some technical issues, but welcome to 3D Thursday. How are you guys doing? Looks like we have a few people in the chat room, so please go ahead and tell me who's here. Please speak up and tell me your actual name and where you're from, and we'll get the stream started here. So if you give me just a second, I'm gonna continue to cleaning house here and getting things ready so we can have a good experience. Hey, why don't I give a voice check? Can everybody hear me? Why don't you, if you're online and you're in the chat, please give me a little thumbs up or something and let me know that you can hear me. All right, is this thing on? All right, we need some interaction. Please help me. Looks like we do have some people here. So looks like DJ D. So how are you doing today? Why don't you let us know what's going on in your week and what your experience is with 3D printing? I grab some much needed water. While I wait for some replies, I'm gonna take a look at a couple of things here. I'm gonna share with the stream. So let me cut over to the other camera here. So we have here, you can see this little camera next to me. Now I'm printing some things for some Christmas gifts, so like probably many of you. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys today is what kind of cool Christmas stuff are you guys printing on your 3D printer? So please let me know in the chat. And I'll tell you a little bit about what's printing over here. So what's over here, actually, I'm gonna see if I can make this full screen. Hold on, here's my big cam. Let's see. All right, so we can go full screen on the little guy. just a shout out here. Can you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure, because I'm not getting much replies, so I wanted to double check. Usually we have pretty good interaction here, so thought I'd double check. I'm gonna type in the chat too. Of course, tonight we were supposed to have our co-host Justin. Justin had some issues pop up, so he's not going to be with me today. So I'm going to try and hold a one-person conversation with the chat room here. So bear with me, and I apologize, but thank you, Will, for sticking around. In the meantime, let's see if we can get these things running. So, what? Tell me in the chat, what's everybody printing? Wondering if anybody would care to guess what I'm printing. See if we have any decent guesses. Or at least see if you can guess the genre. And while we're at it, let's see here. Let me pop over to Discord. So I figured I should bring up Discord because we've had a lot of people ask about it. So here's my take on Discord. So this is Discord here. So let me pop back over here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Discord. So here's what we've been thinking. So you know that we've been around for some time, and we've been helping a lot of people in all sorts of Facebook forums for helping you do different things with your 3D printers. If you get stuck printing, if something broke, if it's not quite doing what you wanted, a lot of times you guys have reached out to us and said, hey, can you help? Or we've seen a post and we've offered a lot of suggestions or help, or even gotten on calls with people to try and get them through it. So again, our whole idea here is to help you print with confidence and remove some of that frustration that typically goes along with 3D printing. So what I wanted to do is I kind of took a little bit of a mini poll. I talked to a lot of people and I said, how's that Facebook group thing working for you? And on the one hand, Facebook groups are pretty good. They help you rapidly get into a community of hundreds or thousands of people that are that share the same printer or something like that, right? So it's good on that hand, but kind of by design, I believe, from what I've been hearing, Facebook just doesn't want to help you search for things very well. It's not a very good information storage tool. So a lot of times what you need to do is quickly search for something like, hey, I've got a layer shift, or I had something separate, or it won't stick to the bed. And so what happens is you search for it and you kind of find some answers. You got to scroll through, and I think that's the design. Facebook wants you to keep scrolling. So it's not the optimum tool for getting help, really. So we took a look around and took a good view at what other communities do. You know, the gaming community, some of the other tools that we use. They often use Discord or Slack. We kind of like Discord because, hey, it's free and a lot of people already have it. And it's quick and it's got a lot of cool tools built into it. So when we started asking those questions, we kind of figured, you know what? What can we do to help build a community where they can find a place to go get help quickly and be able to search and find things really well? So we started up our own Discord server, and we built a lot of areas into you know, the various channels that we have for the Discord server. And what we did is we made sure that we could have areas that are easily findable, easily searchable, scrollable, whatever, where you could go out and you could get the help that you're looking for. And we want to be the ones that help you and build a community of other people that want to help. So that's what we're doing, and that's actually what I'm going to show here. I'm going to pop back over to Discord, and looks like my video froze. Yay. Okay. I'm not sure why. Let me take a look. Bear with me. It's going to be one of those nights, I can tell. That's awesome. Okay. Well, hold that thought. That's better. Okay. Back. What we have here actually on, are we not connected? So I'm going to go through and just assume that we're well connected here. I'm not sure why I'm getting many things, but in Discord, the channels are over here. We've broken it down into basically like a welcome section, in the lab, which is stuff like, you know, works in progress, showing off what you've done, filament discussion, slicing software, requests for models, model sharing. Finishing discussions means, you know, like sanding and painting, that kind of thing. And then an actual help area. Hey, man, I'm stuck. Print quality problems. Help with the slicers, printer problems. And then 3D modeling with various different software. And then, hey, just a general chat like, hey, I'm a beginner. I'm an intermediate person. I'm an advanced area of 3D printing. I want to do some cosplay. I want to build an Iron Man suit, that kind of thing. So we got a lot of channels out here, and we'd like to see you guys start using it. So in the description and on our Instagram, if you go take a look at the links in our bio, you'll be able to find a link straight to the invite for Discord. So I hope you guys do take advantage of that soon. So how else is everybody doing? I'm hoping that you guys are going to be able to join us here in the chat. It looks like I'm seeing many people online, but I'm not seeing a lot of people chatting. So please help me out, man. I'd like to talk to you guys. I'd like to see if there's anybody that needs some assistance, and we'd really love to be able to get you guys printing better if you have any issues. So please go ahead and, oh, there he goes. Oh, can I link the Discord here? I can do that. Yes, I will. Now that I seem to have my technical difficulties mostly out of the way. And let me copy it. Boom. And I really feel like it'll take off pretty well. Although people, here, let me post the link. Boom. What's up, man? And what can I help you with today? Is there any questions you have or any cool things you want to talk about today? Why don't you help me lead the discussions here? Thanks for asking for the link, by the way. So D, what do you have printing on your printers right now? Or printer or printers? What do you have going on? And I feel like, man, if there's anybody that wants to kind of join in on the actual talk here, you guys want to talk with me, maybe get on camera, speak up, because I can throw you right into here because we got an empty spot right where Justin used to be. So I can give you a link and we can stick you right over there. You guys feel like you want to have a voice or a video discussion? All right. Oh yeah, you're the guy that has it under the tree. That's awesome, man. That's cool. All right, happy to see you here. Thank you for joining, by the way. I promise you, it's not usually this dead. I think I don't know, man, if we're just rapidly approaching Christmas season where people are busy doing stuff, or I don't know what's up, man. But usually we have at least a good handful or more people chatting. And I'm not left to do this by myself. So, hey, it is what it is. So we'll make the most of it today. But I figured it'd be kind of cool to. Oh, JP, cool. Thank you, JP. I hope you guys are well as well. So, John Paul. Um, yeah, interesting discussion we had with John Paul's stuff last week. He has designed a really awesome new. Let's see if I can flip over my. Get to my camera. So this surround that actually has the ductwork in it for the SV02, the Sovol SV02. You can see there's fans on either side here, but this isn't as efficient as it could be. So what he did is and he knows the stuff. Man, it's pretty cool how he came up with it, but good science behind it anyway. But what he's actually done is he's taken. I'm gonna go. Sorry, He's bothering me. I can't see myself. Boom. Here we go. So he's actually taken. He's reproduced it. He's remodeled it in CAD, and he's actually had sort of a swirl, sort of a conical effect. Basically, what he's after is being able to cool the part without cooling the actual nozzle itself. So I think that's kind of cool that he took it upon himself to do that. And I don't know his plans for release. I think soon we might have him join us here and we can talk about that. I don't know if he plans to sell the final product or if he's going to release it somehow, the model, and you print it yourself, or I'm not sure. But and maybe you can talk about it a little bit in the chat. But yeah, it looked really cool. I was super impressed by it. So I hope to get one on my SV02 soon. But D, so in the chat, why don't you go ahead and tell us, man, what kind of cool things do you wish to print with your new printer that's under the Christmas tree? And by the way, that's awesome that somebody got you the printer. And if I remember the story correctly, it wasn't you that got it for yourself. So, yeah, what kind of cool things do you want to print? And I can reach out my hand and grab a couple of cool samples here, maybe that we can talk about. Some of you guys might have seen these before, but somebody tell me what this is. What is this piece here that I can see you with? What is it? Anybody? Anybody know what that is? That's cool. Awesome, John. And by the way, I've seen it JP and I've seen it John Paul. So I don't know if I should be calling you JP or John Paul. So tell me, what do you want me to call you? Because I talk about you often on here. So anybody know what this guy is? Let's see some guesses. And you guys that have joined here before have seen me talk about him. Kind of give you a hint. Let's see. How much of a hint do I want to give you guys? It is sci-fi related. It is not the entire thing. It is part of something. Cool. All right. So I will go with JP. Thanks. So another hint, it's kind of something that might see through, kind of. Has nothing to do with the camera. Anybody? And man, what is going on with my camera today? It's freezing. It's just one of those days. You know what? I'm not going to stress over it. It is just going to be one of those days where my camera's just wigging out today, because why not? First, we have no internet when it's 2 minutes to start. And then this. Okay. Let's go full screen on this one. Boy, my camera. Come on, guys. There we are. I'm back. Okay. So, no guesses? Seriously, guys? Come on. Help me out here. There we go. And JP's right. R2D2 hollow projector, right? So that's this guy. So this is actually a full-size version of an R2D2, apart from a full-size version of an R2D2 that I have plans to finish printing. So if you're looking for something to print, you might want to think about an actual full-size radio-controlled, movable, lights, sounds R2D2. So that's one thing. Let's see. If you get an SV02, you got an SV01 though, didn't you? I can't remember. But tell me, D, I think it was SV01. But if you get an SV02, this comes on the SD card. This is kind of cool. I was talking about this last time because it's like, as I was trying to get my brain wrapped around dual color printing, not like the technology. I mean, I kind of get that. Not that big a deal, but what to do with it from a creativity standpoint. So as I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, what could I really do with my own designs that would take advantage of dual color printing? So I don't know, something just rang in my head as soon as I saw this, because, you know, hey, it prints flat like this. It prints basically one strip at a time of each color. But man, the second I peeled it off and saw the built-in hinges and that they were different colors and all that kind of stuff, man, it just kind of clicked. Something clicked and said, oh, okay, I can do cool things with this printer. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, you got to do the cube. You know what? Let me show you the grand sum of all the benchies that I've printed. I haven't printed a benchie yet, man. But hey, more power too if you like benchies. But yeah, print the cube that comes on the printer. And hey, we were kind of chatting a little bit, I think, in the Facebook group. And my recommendation, as far as upgrades and stuff like that for the printer, is, man, spend a good few weeks with the printer, 2 to 3 weeks. Open it up, take the 15-20 minutes that it'll take you to get that SV01 assembled, and you know, and hey, I'm sorry if it takes you longer than that, no big deal, but it comes to 95% assembled. So just throw it together. You know, take your time. But here's a recommendation, D, that I would say: take all of the Allen wrenches that come with that printer, and I would, let's see, can you see me? Yeah, okay, so here's an SV01 right here. Okay, so this one behind me is an SV01. The other guy over here is the SV02. So this SV01, all of the things that shouldn't move, tighten them. So go through with the Allen wrenches and just tighten them, not like crazy, but just tighten them well so that, man, like you should be able to grab this print head here and shake it, and it shouldn't wobble or anything. You know, of course it'll slide side by side, but you know, like make sure that, you know, even by hand you can lift and kind of push down the Z-axis, and the bed is moving freely, and then you know the bands are tight and all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that your printer is rock solid, because that'll save you some problems later on where you're trying to figure out, man, why am I getting these crazy layer lines, or why are things shifting or whatever. It might be that if you figure, I'm not sure where in the States you are, but and you can tell me. Oh, cool. I'll pull up the pictures. Awesome. You made a baby room for your printer. That's cool. Yeah, so if you make sure that that printer is nice and stable and solid, then it'll start printing really well in the get-go. So, you know, then print the cube that's on the SD card, and then go to Thingiverse, pull a couple things down there. You're going to have fun printing. And but you got to take some time to learn that slicer. So I don't know if you're going to hop into Prusa Slicer or Cura, which I mostly, like 95% I use Cura. I know some people use S3D. But yeah, man, you know, spend a lot of time trying to get the settings. No way, you're in Michigan. That's where I'm from. I'm in Florida now, but I moved from Michigan in 2005. That's cool, man. What part of Michigan? But yeah, man, I think once you start understanding what does what in the slicer, and by the way, hit me up when you get to that point, and if you get frustrated with it, I'm serious, like just email me, terry@creativegraphicsgroup.com, or go to, you know, pop out to the to Discord, or, you know, Facebook, or whatever floats your boat, but get a hold of me. And yeah, Cura is open source, yes, I believe, but it is free. I think there are parts of it that aren't 100% open source, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you, well, actually, you know what? No way. Wait. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not open source. I don't believe it is. It's made by Ultimaker, and I don't think they've released source. I know that they have an API where you can plug into it. I guess I was... there we go. So I was in Livonia, Detroit area, Wixom, that kind of thing. So we were practically neighbors, man. You were kind of more east side, it sounds like. But yeah, not many people get that the Journey song is wrong, right? South Detroit is actually Windsor. So, but yeah, free. Yeah, Cura is free. So is Prusa Slicer. Different takes on the user interface. The user experience is slightly different. But man, for a free slicer, Cura keeps adding stuff rapidly. But there are some nice things that I say I have them both. So, you know, pop between them, but get really good at one. But when you get frustrated with what does this setting do and what's that setting do, or if you want some good profile settings, I'll send them to you, or you can go to creativegraphicsgroup.com, and you can see on there that, actually I might as well show the website. Here's my full screen. All right, so here's the website, creativegraphicsgroup.com, and if you scroll down on the right, you're going to see a list of our like sort of latest YouTube videos. But over here, there's a section 3D printing. I'm going to make this full screen real quick. And in here, if you go down, this is kind of in your near future, but not immediate. You may want to look into checking out our tutorial on how to add an E3D all metal, an E3D V6 all metal hot end to your printer. If you look at the article and read it, it'll explain why it's a good idea. But again, Don't do it now. Get used to your printer for a little bit. I am glad that you got the BL Touch. That'll be helpful. And then right here it says Cura profiles for the SV01. If you click on that, I actually did some things with various. What my goal here was, yes, to release some decent profiles that many people find are pretty good. But I also have like a high, medium, and low quality, and I have different nozzle sizes here. And what I tend to do is my SV01 is almost always loaded with a 0.6 nozzle, and I leave the 0.4 on the SV02. So if I want to do, let's say, something like this. So if I want to take and print an Iron Man helmet, I'm going to print this on the SV01 because A, I don't need dual colors on it, and B, it's got a 0.6 nozzle, which goes way, way faster. Okay, so that's in fact, wow, that's funny. I picked up this helmet, and that's actually what's on the screen here is my example. But you're gonna find, let's see, it's down here towards the bottom. Where'd it go? Where's my profiles? Here it is. Latest profiles for Cura. Now, I will say that I just recently went to 4.8 of Cura. And these profiles are for a previous version. It'll give you some kind of warning when you import them, but you can. So if you need the 4.8, just hit me up, and I haven't updated it on the website yet. I'm still kind of combing through it because there are some changes in 4.8 that need me to pay a little bit more attention to it. So, all right. So I know JP had sent me an email, and I'm gonna pop this back here. Wow, a lot of conversation. Okay, I'm catching up with the conversation here. I guess for you is what I meant. Okay, cool. Now I saw something about G-code being not for their specific printer. Is this a common problem? Okay, so with your SV01, if you already load 4.7 or 4.6 of Cura, it would not have a dedicated profile out of the box for your SV01. But your owner's manual would say in there, hey, go and pick this Creality CR10, and I'll tell you why in a minute, and then set up the bed size and so on and so on. And that's okay, you can do that. Not a big deal. And the reason that they say pick a CR10 is because the board that's inside this printer is actually the same control board that's in the Creality CR10. So when anything's talking to it, or you're spitting out G-code and sending it to the printer, it's just as if it was a CR10, just a different bed size. Okay. So now, fast forward to 4.8 of Cura. And what that does is it comes with a SV01. I might as well show you. Where's my Cura? No, it's probably going to start up with a weird error that you dig into these things sometimes and cause kind of weirdness. Hopefully it won't. Last time I got a bad configuration file issues, so let's see if that's it. It's done. Hopefully it won't be there. All right. Yep. Configuration error. Okay. Anyway, might as well load wherever I had last. So, what you see up here. See, now this is interesting because here I am in my slicer. Oh, it is. It is open source. Cool. Thanks, JP. So it's both free and open source. So what I have here in this part of the interface is a selector for the printer. So I actually slice in the same slicer for both my SV02 and my SV01 and SV02. Now you're going to see number 2 and number 3. So normally I just had this one and this one. Don't ask me why it says number 2. Weird. But this number 3 came as I was importing some of my profiles and or old projects that I had from before I upgraded to 4.8. So what it did is because it was using that CR10, like I told you, it threw it in as a different printer because it has a different board, right? So never mind that. Don't look behind the curtain. But just know that when you get your SV01 and you install Cura 4.8, which is the latest, then it's going to come built in with a profile for the SV01 with the right bed size and the ability to kick out G-code for it. So, so there you go. Now you can see what this is kind of interesting. Let's talk Cura for a second. So, because the SV02 is a dual color printer, actually, let me load file. Let me think which one. Oops, didn't mean to go that far back. And here we are. Here is my. I just got to find the right thing. Let's see. What do I want to load? Let's load this one. Loading. Kind of a detailed print. So, okay, cool. So this is the Charmander that I made the video about. So, yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it before, but this is actual print file for the Charmander. Actually, I have it right here. So that's this little dude here. So in case you haven't seen the video, I'll give you a 1-minute view of it. So this Charmander is cute, right? It's printed in orange PLA that you can see. It kind of looks like those circus peanut candies. But you know, he's a decently detailed model, as you can see on the screen too. Actually, probably you can see good enough on the camera here, but there he is. But now, what I wanted to do is do something cool in dual color printing that you couldn't just do with spray paint or something, right? So why not just sand it down, tape it off, and print it with different colors? Well, this tail, if you look at the tail here, it looks brown. You see on the screen it looks red. Now, what happens is as that Charmander tail gets hot, as this guy heats up, if he's in a hot light or if he is outside or something like that, then the tail goes from like a brown color to like a red to an orange to a yellow, and it actually goes fire colors. So how cool is that, right? So that's what I did. I used a thermochromatic PLA for the tail, which is by design, you know, thermochromatic means it changes color as the temperature changes. But all I did here is basically say, hey, there's two different parts, and I said this part prints on this extruder, and this part prints on this extruder. Now I happen to color them these two colors so that I could tell what was what. You're going to see that it looks like he's eating some kind of cube. He's not eating ice cubes, I promise you. But these are what we call support blockers, right? So as the Cura software goes and calculates different blockers, there's some areas that are just too hard, like in the mouth here, that I couldn't get the stuff out of. Like I couldn't, without breaking the rest of the model, I didn't want to like chew at it and have a hard time getting all that support out of that mouth cavity. So I just told it, you know what? If you look at where I put it, it's basically right behind the teeth. Anything behind the teeth on the top, I don't want blockers to come in there. So it'll throw blockers in this top part where I can just kind of pop it straight forward. But once it's behind those teeth, I just can't do it. So those are little blockers, and that's something that you do in Cura right here. So, but anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff to be done, but it will take you some time to kind of get used to it and kind of get the hang of how to set up various different things. Now, I made another video recently that was kind of interesting where we have, so if you look at some of these settings, there's something here that says build plate adhesion. So there's different options for that, a skirt, a brim, and a raft, where basically rafts are, and do I have an extra raft laying around? I don't. Dang it. Well, a raft would be like where my hand is. It prints underneath it, larger than the print. And it's kind of thick. It's about 4 or 5 layers thick. And the idea is it's a flat piece of something that's bigger than the print, that can stick to the bed really well. So you get that to adhere to the bed really well. And then you leave a gap in between, it's sort of like a little air gap, believe it or not, in between where that plastic prints and where this plastic prints. And if it's done right, it pops right off, okay? And so there's settings that control that. So made a video about what it looks like when it's done right, because a lot of people say, man, I don't like using rafts because I have to really pry and take our little tool here and cut things off the bottom of it, you know, like just to get it smooth and everything. But you shouldn't have to go through all that nonsense. So if you learn how to do supports and the bed plate adhesion stuff down right, you know, like rafts, and put the right gap in there, then I think that you'll have a much better time. So yeah, you know, spend some time learning all that stuff, talking to people. Go to the Facebook group just to see what other people are posting. Come to us, talk in Discord, hit me up on Facebook, you know, Messenger and Instagram and all those kind of things, email. And our job is to help you with that, right? So, so actually that brings up a good point. People often ask me, why are you guys doing this? And it kind of, you know, I thought about that. And we put a mission here. So the mission is, in the short version, is we do digital video production, custom graphic work, in broadcast and print, and 3D printing. We're passionate creators, but the medium version of it is this, especially around 3D printing. Mission is to build a community of the most talented individuals in the 3D printing industry, teaching them so that they can avoid the typical frustration and steep learning curve that thousands before them have had to endure, and empowering them to continuously improve their skills. Oh, I need to hit some water. So what does that mean? It means that I love helping people get 3D printing done right. And I've been where you guys are, where it's super frustrating. You know, like, why is it doing this? Oh, come on, another nozzle clog. Oh, you know, I just cleaned it. I just did this. I just did that. You know, nothing should be happening. What do I got to do about it? Well, we've been there. In fact, you know what? I've been there recently. Check this guy out here. So, this is the back of a helmet. Oh, I should probably flip my screen so you can see it easier. All right. This is the back of a helmet that I was printing. Now, usually it was intended to go up like this. But I got a nozzle clog. So I decided, you know what, this kind of kills me, right? But man, that's a lot of filament. Filament sheet, you know, what is it? You know, under 20 bucks usually these days for some decent PLA. But yeah, it's still wasted time, right? So what I did is I went back into Mesh Mixer. We'll talk about that in a second. And I just virtually like cut this in half. So it's two pieces. Yeah, I got to glue them later. But I did that, and they're out of reach right now. But it, you know, hey, if anything went wrong, then at least I got half of it done well, and maybe the other half I can reprint. You know, that's half the the filament wasted. And by the way, if you look really carefully here, let me see if I can go full screen. Here we go. I want you to see this. So on this failed print, where is it? Where can you see it? On the bottom, see that glossy stuff? Right here is, let's see, right here, this edge piece is a raft, okay? So if I set up my settings properly, you know, I did this in the other video. I should probably just make you go watch the video, but check it out. So if I've done everything right, I should be able to take that thing and just pop it right off like this. So here he is. He's taking supports and raft material off live on this failed print. But more importantly, it came off easy and all in one piece. And I'm going to throw that in the recycle bin. But check it out. In here, on the very bottom, it is definitely nice and smooth. It's almost as smooth as that part that hit the glass. So that's pretty awesome. So that's the whole thing. If you look at the edge really close, right here, right where my finger is, it's super flat and smooth. So less sanding and all that kind of stuff, less frustration. That's our key, remember. So you know, let us help you. Let us help you get there is the point I'm trying to make. Because we love doing this stuff. We love it when people are able to print cool stuff we've helped. All right, let me check the chat. All right. So, what else do you guys want to talk about today? We've talked about Discord. We've talked about settings. We've talked about Cura. We've talked about Charmander. So, D, tell me, what are the first cool things that you want to print, man? So, what is it you want to do? What did you get the printer for in the first place? You know, we've talked about printing Iron Man masks. We've talked about printing R2D2s and little figures and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So, if it's not something like this, what is it you want to print? What do you want to do? Yeah, so JP, let me tell you, like the short version of how to get the raft to come off like that is just make it equal to the layer height if you're printing at a fairly decent layer height. Now, if you're printing at a 0.06 layer height, it's not going to be enough to make it one layer height. You're going to have to go multiples. So there's some math in there, and it's not perfect. You got to kind of do some trial and error. Oh, cookie cutters, awesome. That's okay, but you're going to want to use. You're not going to want to use PLA for that because it's not food safe. You're going to want to use. Oh, boy, I'm losing my mind. PETG. You're going to want to use PETG filament for that. So PETG. So you're going to. Oh, in fact, let me flip back to the website. We have back here in the 3D area. Come on. We have an article about printing COVID mask pieces out of PETG. So we actually, so if you see, this is a PETG piece here. And the whole cool thing about PETG, why I'm saying that is because it doesn't have as many like tiny little crevices and the ability to get bacteria and stuff in there, right? So it is much better for that, and it is generally considered food safe for, I think the real rule is food safe for one use. So, but anyway, a lot better for heat. Like, in other words, if I printed something in PETG and stuck it out in my car in the Florida sun, I could come back later and it'd be the same shape. But if I do that with standard PLA, it will not be, I can guarantee you. So in here, I have some settings and some files for these, but okay, here's the filament, nozzles. Oh, here we go, print settings. Generally, you're gonna have to print these a little slower. You're gonna have to change your fan settings, and you're gonna have to print them higher temp. So if you're interested in printing things out of PETG, take a look at this COVID resources page. It's got, even though you're not gonna be printing these masks, it has some good information on that. So hopefully that'll help you with that as you're getting started. But you know, the cool thing about the Sovols, unlike some of the other printers out of the box, man, it prints really good no matter the material. Like, you can even do the soft TPU stuff. Yeah, you have to change some settings like anything else, but you don't have to do anything hardware-wise to be able to print with PLA, PETG, with TPU, any of those things. Even I've got some. This is so cool. I love this stuff. This is Creality. Hopefully you can see it. The brand is Creality, and it's actually wood. Let me, it'd probably be easier to see it if it was out of the bag, wouldn't it? By the way, if you don't have a dehydrator or something like that, moisture is a problem, and it makes filament brittle. So I always stick it in a gallon Ziploc bag because it's cheap, and I put some of the silicone, those dehumidifier tabs in with the bag, the stuff that comes with the filament. But this is PLA that's mixed with wood, and you can see the color kind of looks like wood, but check it out, it's actual wood. When you print with this stuff, it smells like burning wood. more importantly, there's a cool wood script out there. There's a script that you take what you were gonna generate as G code. You generate your G code, save the file. You run a script over it, and then you can actually vary the different layer heights at different temperatures, meaning that it'll burn this a darker color on different layers, which simulates a really convincing wood grain. So that's kind of cool. Of course, not food safe. But in fact, I think I have a photo on our homepage. Here it is. So this wood-looking box, hopefully you can see the layers and everything and the roses and all that. That was printed with this actual filament. I wish I had a better picture handy, but I know I have some posted. But you can see that there's actual darker layers and darker layers, and this stuff takes stain and everything. So another cool idea that you'll be able to do. So yeah, so JP, yeah, printing at 0.15 layer height. Yeah, probably 1.15 would hold up for using that as an air gap. You've changed your. Let me actually come back. Oh wow, I thought I was showing my screen. I'm sorry. Here's the wood box that I was talking about, and you can see the different layer heights. So that's what I was talking about all that time. And in Cura, the setting that I was talking about for that Z gap under build plate adhesion is the raft air gap. So you can see I was printing at 0.15, and in this case, I felt confident that I could get away with a raft of 2 times. So that one really popped. But typically I'll start at a 1-time layer height. So in this case, I probably would have started with a 0.15, and that should come off just as clean as you saw there. So pretty good. But anyway, we should probably do a session on Cura. The other thing I wanted to ask you guys, I'm really thinking that I want to do that. Let's see. I really like the print quality of the Sovol printers. I'm gonna be printing some wood soon for some drawer lids in our kitchen. Awesome. So yeah, it's the wood script. If you just do a Google search for wood.py script, all you really do is run it against the G code, like I said, and it changes the G code so it has different temperatures at different heights automatically. It has a particular pattern to it. It looks like wood. Okay, and my wife did those little knickknacks and figures, so we'll be doing a ton of those. Cool. To watch old school unboxing and McDonald's toys from 10 years ago. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool, man. Oh man. So yeah, there's plenty. I'm sure you've gone to thingiverse.com and looked at all the cool stuff that you can download for free and print from there. Where was I going? I was going somewhere. Somebody please remind me. Having a senior moment. Oh yeah, yes. I wanted to ask you guys. I'm going to do a quick poll. What do you guys think of, especially for getting started, doing live, like let's say Zoom based or something, training, like X number of weeks training? You know, day 1, you've put your printer together and you powered it on and it works. Now what? Day 2, how to make sure that you use the magic formula on the Sovol printers for making sure you have perfect bed adhesion, you don't have things fall off the bed. You know, day 2, show me Cura. Day 3, show me more Cura so I actually get it, and so on. You know, and then have a little curriculum like that where we can walk you through, and like, man, within just a short amount of time, you're confidently printing a lot of good stuff and knowing what to do then. How to make decisions. Do I need to upgrade to this? Do I need a BL Touch? Do I need a all metal hot end? Do I need this or that? You know, what can I and can I not do on this printer? How to understand, like, just imagine if I took this model here and I just grabbed it, and let's just say it came in funny. I just, you know, it was something like this. Okay, let's just say it came in like this. Can you imagine trying to print that? It'd be crazy. But you might not understand on day 1 how to tell what good looks like or how to orient things so that they print easier. Same thing with these masks, right? So if you take a look at like printing an Iron Man mask like this, sometimes you'd think that the proper orientation would be like this, but that would put crazy amounts of support in here, right? So the actual proper way to print it is not even straight up and print it sideways, not straight up and down like this, but actually a little bit like this, leaning forward so that there's only a couple supports here. And some of the reasons the ways you can tell what's right is by looking at the visual indicators in your slicer to see where it's going to place those support structures and how much support of all the plastic you're printing in this run, how much is going to support, how much is going to this and that. So there's all sorts of cool things that we could teach you that usually take a long time and trial and error that I'd love to get people into a class and really go through and understand how to do things right. So, and there's many of us here at Creative Graphics Group, people that work with us that have many, many years of experience in all sorts of different types of printers. So it's not all about Sovol, although we highly recommend them. But you know, Enders, CR10s, even some resin. So what do you guys think? You know, thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, is that something you guys would like to do? Even if it had a minimal cost? I mean, like, obviously it's not going to be expensive, because if you're going to spend a couple $100s on a printer, you don't want to spend another $100 on training, right? So obviously it would be reasonable, but if you assume that, would it be something that would be worth your time to shave down that learning curve a little bit so that you guys could get things started faster and more efficiently? Would that be something that would be interesting to you guys? Cool. And here's my thought. I don't know. Don't hold me to this, but my thought is I want to start with, let's say 10 people. And I want to just do a free class. I've been building the curriculum in my head and on paper, and I think I know what'll work well. I have a little bit, maybe a couple more weeks worth of work to get that right. But once we do that, I would like to start, let's say grab 10 people and go through X number of weeks for free. And you guys could be my guinea pigs and see how it works out so we could fine tune it for later. So if that would be interesting, send me an email, terry@creativegraphicsgroup.com, and put in the subject live training. And we'll see what you think about that. And feel free to tell a couple other people. And I do want to keep it kind of small at first. You'd sign up for it. Cool, man. All right. So first 2 out of 10 then we got. And I figured, hey man, it's probably a decent time to think of something like that, right? Because hey, there's probably a lot of people like Dee that are getting printers for Christmas. So hey, there are so many. And by the way, Dee, I don't want to give you or JP, I don't want to give you the impression that it's all about, like everything we're going to do is all about the dollar, right? Because that's not it. But we do put a lot of time and effort into the YouTube videos and these live streams and everything, and it'd be just kind of nice to get a minimal amount back just to be able to keep things rolling. And to that effect, please, I know you've seen this on 100,000 YouTube videos, but you wouldn't believe how much it helps. Please like and subscribe the YouTube videos and hit the little bell so that you get notified whenever we come up with new videos. And also, the more people that follow us on Instagram, the better too. So Instagram and YouTube really help to have a lot of followers, because, if you're trying to build a community, there's no better way than social media to do that, right? So the more people that we have in our community, the more people that show up to Discord, the more people that we have in these live streams, the more people I'm able to help. And if I do well for you, if you're stuck with a problem and, I happen to respond to you on Facebook or email or something like that, and then you're going to go tell somebody that, hey, when you're stuck, you can go get good answers from these guys. That's what we're here for. We just really love helping people and making sure that it's easier for you than it was when I started. So that's what it's all about. So again, we're going to keep cranking out a ton of YouTube videos. In fact, the next one that's up, because people keep asking me what's next, is I'm almost done finally editing the a little longer than I wanted to, but the video that is the counterpart to, let's see, let me pull it up here. The one that I skipped over here, the, come on. This one. So the article that we wrote and all the detail with all the photos and everything about how to install an E3D V6 all-metal hot end to your Sovol SV01, we made a video version of it now because so many hundreds of people gave me some thumbs up on all this. We made a video version of it. It's about, I'm guessing it's probably going to be around 40 minutes, you know, kind of cut down as most as I could, because honestly, in real time, it would take you a lot longer just to make sure everything's organized and done well. But, you know, we're going to keep kicking out videos like this. So that's the next one. And then actually installing the BL Touch is the next one after that, because those are the two most sought after upgrades for the Sovol SV01, the E3D V6 all-metal hot end and the BL Touch. Not necessarily in that order, but those are the top two. All right, so assuming I search creative graphics, yes, I will give you the link right now. Let me get it. I'll put it in the chat here. All right, come on, chat. Okay. Man, I totally have to get better at the self-promotion stuff. I know. But yeah, so if you go there, you should actually see this. And look, we're live. So you can see that all the live stuff shows up here. The previous live streams are all here. There's some good stuff there. The videos that we have, like the Charmander we told you about. There's the one on, you know, popping the supports off. So they're all here, and we're gonna keep adding. You know, we generally put about 1 or 2 up a week. And I think next week we're actually going to have some of the Sovolers with us. So we have at least verbal confirmation that Heidi and Ronald will join us next week, as well as Justin and probably Trevor and some of the other guys that usually pop on. So, and hopefully at that point, if things are cool, JP, again, no pressure, but hopefully we'll be able to see your cool video that you're going to put together on how exactly your fan shrouds work, and or at least talk about it more, and you know, tell us the benefits, you know, from your own mouth. So I know we're generally sorry, I'm combining my sentences. We're a little over. We usually go for an hour, but we did have a late start today, so hopefully you guys forgive me for that. But I do like making sure that I'm staying on time as much as I can. But we usually go about an hour and 15 minutes by the time people show up and ask questions and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys have any other questions or would like to talk about things next time, you can either tell me in the chat now, and we'll note that down, or send me an email or anything. You know how to get a hold of me. I've said it like 3 times now. But or if you have suggestions, I should say this too. If we pop back to Discord, there's actually a YouTube. Where is it at? Where did I put him? Where is it? Oh, here it is. There's a YouTube channel here. So one kind of cool thing is the bot automatically, every time we upload a video, boom, 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 it tells you about it. It asks you to go check it out. But if you read the thing up here, recommend future videos here. So either tell us in the chat here what you'd like to see us create new videos on. You know, maybe printing with wood or something like that, or cosplaying, or maybe making cookie cutters. Cool. Whatever it is, give us some ideas. And tell us here in this channel on Discord. I'd love to see the ideas start flying, because I've got an editorial calendar that's got about maybe another month and a half left. Excuse me. And after that, we're going to be looking for ideas. And maybe your idea is so cool that we're going to say, you know what, pause that one for a second. We're going to pop this one in. So I'm all for it. Whatever's important to the community, that's what we want to do. So if you have some great ideas, we'd love to work with you on that. Cool. Thank you, Dee. Cool. Yeah. So Discord, I don't know if you've used Slack, but I swear Discord and Slack are like cousins. But it's basically like, hey, you go in there, and there are different channels on the left here, and you can see it's kind of like message boards or something, right? They'll have a subject. You'll see all the history that came before. And there's actually a rules thing here, and basically it's like, be cool, don't be a jerk, that kind of thing. And I'd like people to start putting introductions out there and start talking about YouTube things. But then, seriously, man, if you need help, I'm stuck, or I don't know what to do with the slicer, start throwing questions out here. We'll see them reply back to them. And then the cool thing is they're threaded and all that, so other people can go and find them really well. So I like helping you guys and helping others at the same time. You can't beat it. So, cool. So I think that's probably going to do it for today. Love that you guys were here and helped me out so I wasn't just talking to myself for an hour. But I think we had a pretty decent discussion. So next week, yeah, we're hopefully we'll have the Sovolers on here as well as Justin. Man, Justin is like a walking encyclopedia of 3D printing knowledge, man. He has a ton of printers and a lot of knowledge that went along with it over the years. So, you know, especially on the hardware stuff, Trevor is a really great guy for the same, and also building firmware and that kind of stuff. These guys, they just have so much incredible knowledge, and I'm blessed to know them and to have them show up here. So thank you guys. I'm glad you guys were here, and hopefully it was helpful to you. If it was, please tell others. They can go back and watch the replay. That'll be posted soon by YouTube, and also we'll look forward to next week's 3D Thursday live stream. And thank you guys, and we'll see you again then.